Banter fam, sorry for a little bit of lateness. We did have a couple of technical issues. Guys, ETH, right? We need to speak about ETH. ETH is looking stronger than ever right now. And it's actually about to crack this important level over here. Now, this level, short squeezes us back to the tops. And we know the break of the next high, short squeezes us all the way to the areas of the early 3000s, right? There is a big short squeeze on the horizon when it comes to ETH. And we're already seeing on the shorter time frame, ETH is getting ready to pop. Now, again, ETH on Bitcoin is also looking incredibly strong. And USDT dominance is definitely starting this nice little trail to the downside over here as well. So it's quite clear that ETH is going to be a very big altcoin trigger. So I want to speak again about altcoins that are going to pop with Ethereum. If we are expecting a 40 to 50% squeeze in Ethereum at any point, right, we need to understand that there's going to be a selective amount of altcoins that are actually starting to move, that will move with ETH as well. I'm starting to see some strength in a bunch of tokens. And I want to highlight these because, again, once you have the first pop of tokens, right, and you have the real drop within the Bitcoin dominance, and you have the first section of tokens that start to rocket up, then every few days, new altcoins will be released. So I think the important thing about today itself is the urgent list of tokens. The ones to really know that these are going to move with Ethereum, I kind of got to really have bets in this right now, or have trade setups and at least be ready to trade and where to enter these alts now. Okay. And then after that, then we're going to rotate and new alts will be available every day. But again, you want to be early to the party when the market starts to move. We are about to, at any point, move out of confusion emotions into confidence emotions, okay? And different altcoins are going to move at different stages. So guys, again, let's go through the juicy altcoins. I got a few more new ones again today for you guys. And I want to make sure that we are prepared. Bitcoin is holding support. ETH is scraping at the rooftops over here. It is time to prepare. No more wasting time. Let's go.
I try and help everyone in my space, and this is what I get. I try and fight the devils, but inside I'm just like sniper. Welcome to Sheldon Show.
Brandon Sheldon, hit the subscribe button. Guys, like it up, like it up. Who is my bull army, right? Who's those who are drinking some tequila? Let me know. I want to see 66% bullish, fantastic, amazing. Guys, again, to start off, we are 2 days out from a private leverage event. So make sure you join the event. Here is the exclusive event over here. There's only 1,000 spots available. Now, we've had hundreds of registrations. Not everyone is verified. Make sure that you verify. So once you have signed up, verify yourself. Okay, and remember, you need a CoinW account. Now, we also got a banger deal on CoinW, right? And I want to show this deal. I want to make sure I'm 100% correct because I was a little bit shocked when I saw this yesterday, and I was like, this is incredible. You know, anything that can give you guys a massive deal or bonus or anything like that, I'm incredibly happy about. Let me find this over here quick. Have you got it there, Maddie? You got it lined up. I want you guys to join. Here we go. Deposit $1,000. Okay, only on my link, $1,000, and you get $1,000 in a bonus. Go to the bonus section and make sure that you go and reclaim and get ready for the damn workshop. So this is going to be a 1 hour, we'll maybe do an hour and a half, because I'll do around half an hour of questions, okay, of a private leverage, how leverage works, how do I up and down it, what is cross and isolated modes, how do I move stops, how do I trade multiple tokens at once, how much money do I use to trade leverage, what do I do, right? We're going to do for beginners / a couple of advanced strategies as well to put you through over there as well. So that is there, that is happening, never been done before, super exciting. Okay, let's get straight into the juice, baby. Let's go. Okay. Bro, I've been drinking tequila, just waiting for the banana. Yes. It's how it works. It's how it works, right? At least you are drinking at the right time. Proud of you for drinking at the right time. Okay, guys. So here is Bitcoin. Spoke about the two scenarios yesterday. We were actually going to push up first and then have a little rejection. And what we're going to see now, you know, specifically off of this. And again, I'll go through the two scenarios. But this scenario, which is the bullish scenario, what you are going to see is a slight slow climb to the upside. Right? A slight slow move to the upside and then pop, right? It's the way every basically pump kind of works. We basically start off slow, we start moving to the upside and then pop, right? You could see it always slow, pop, right? It's the slow side that we're looking at over here right now, okay? And this is what I'm seeing on Bitcoin. Right now, Bitcoin is holding the bull flag, which is good. Now, a thing to think about as well, and why I also think that at any point the market can kind of speed up a little bit, right, is because we don't want to sit too sideways that we start to form some bearish, patterns. So right now, as it stands, if I look at this and I just zoom out a little bit here on Bitcoin, I do see a right shoulder ahead, a left shoulder ahead, and we're coming into right shoulder territory for something like that, right? Now, again, we ain't afraid of this. This is where we are now taking the bets here for the bull scenario, okay? But it's basically just giving me that bit of urgency that right now, this is the game plan. You trade the damn game plan, you go, right? And again, if we are sitting over here still in the next 5 days, then we start saying, let me just tighten up. Let me just protect it a little bit more in case we do play a head and shoulders, right? So all that is telling us that at any point now, we need a real pop. Once we got the pop, okay, then again, so from here on Bitcoin, I see my bullish scenario, the one that I'm slightly towards right now, is from here, a pop up at any point back to the $108,000 to $109,000 zone. Then I see Bitcoin chopping for a little bit, and then I see the mega pump to the all-time highs. Again, if you zoom out here and you go look at Bitcoin itself, right? And I want to show you this over here. The monthly close was good. And why it was good, and I want to show you here again, is because it is indicating that this month is going to be a big green candle, right? It's going to be a strong one. How do we know that? When you have a candle that starts to pump off, right? And then it starts to get sold into a little bit, right? And you get this wick. I want to draw the wick over here. When you have a candle like this, what it tells you is there was some real buying that happened, okay? And it did get to a certain wall where selling happened. But through where we started at the beginning of the month to the end of the month, the bulls won the battle when it came to the close. And it also showed you that the bears tried to reject this candle. They actually tried to get the candle to go into a red negative candle. So actually pull this all the way down over here to red. They did not win in time, which means that in that month, the bulls actually won, okay, which now starts to create concerns for the bears, right? And now with the bears over here, what this means is from here, we are going to go chase that liquidity at any point here. Not only chase the liquidity, because we have such a strong body that is 60 to 70% of what the wick is over here, it is telling us it's very clear we can actually have a green candle, okay, that surpasses that wick high over there. So what we're already seeing now is we saw, and that's why I said the first 2, 3, 4 days, you could maybe see a bit of redness in the beginning of this month, but ultimately over the month, we should have a very strong green. So don't get trapped out early in a month. And this is why I was saying these little chop outs right now is kind of trapping the markets at this point over here, right? This high time frame, and that's why you always got to zoom out to just calm your damn nerves at times. Whenever you're stressing on the short time frame, zoom out and calm your damn nerves, right? Okay, you'll realize that this is looking really good. And at any point, we can have the God candle, right? There's nothing stopping $130,000 to $140,000 this month within Bitcoin. Okay, we are not seeing any major wick candles. You see the problem that we had here. This is what I said we didn't want to do. You see when I zoom in here on the monthly, do you see that how we pumped and we got sold into that the candle finished red? Look what happened. We ended up going through 3-4 months of downside, right? So the wicks or the engulfings like this is what creates that hey, there's still a fight. The way I see this right now on the high time frame, there ain't no fight. The bulls are winning, okay? And again, when the confidence emotions come back in, everything will make sense again to you, right? Right now, there's still that uncertainty with altcoins, but there is a lot of certainty within Bitcoin. And we know that everything will shuffle into the altcoins. It's how it works. It's how the whole damn planet works, right? These things aren't going to shift. The market is the way it is, and it's going to do the same thing for a long period of time. The only thing that it's going to change is timing. When do alt seasons happen? When do this? No more. They always happen 4 years in January. No more of that. Now they happen in August. They happen in February. They happen here. But the cycle will still repeat and do the same thing every time because it works, right? Do a lot of people lose money in crypto? Yes. Do a very small amount of people make a ton of money in crypto? Yes. Why change the recipe? Why change it, right? This is the ultimate recipe. However, people start to adapt, and they like goldfish, and they start to see repetition. So when they see that everything is exactly time, okay, they can just tweak the timing, and boom, catches everyone off guard, right? And we saw that, right? That's sort of a lot in this thing. But again, we are here on the monthly, okay? And the exciting part is ETH. ETH is going to pop hard at any moment now. The candle was sexy as hell. The RSI, not even this one, the stochastic RSI is at the bottom. Right, I want to show you this again. We saw this yesterday. I want to show you again. Crossing on the monthly, guys. The last time we crossed on the monthly, where were we? We were here. Right, monthly is a very big. The last time before that, we were here. Right, monthly is the highest time frame you get in this data. The year is too. There's not even enough year candles to even give you an RSI yet. This is incredible. This is the strong areas over here. Plus, ETH has broken out this resistance over here. So I think not having ETH in a bit of your long term now is a little bit crazy, but that's my opinion. Okay, ETH is insane, but it is also just a really good reminder, okay, that the dominance is going to come down. Now, I want to show you guys something. I think we are going to see a dominance collapse this month. Okay, and I'm not taking this off of, I've spent a lot of time with you guys over the last couple of weeks on 4-hour charts, 8-hour charts, smaller time frame charts. Yes, right? I want to really pay attention to the high time frame charts. What we are seeing here now, this candle that formed last month is bearish for Bitcoin dominance. Okay, because look at this. Think about it the other side now. If, you know how they say when someone races, right? A win is a win. If you win by 100 meters or you win by 1 foot, what does it say on the record? W, right? It doesn't say, I lost by one step. You lost, right? Therefore, there's the champion, right? And that's how it works in the game. So if you look at this over here, there was a fight last month. And there's always a fight when there is a reversal. Always, right? There's a big fight that happens, then reversal comes into play. If you look at Bitcoin dominance, it treats it like a coin now. It started over here, right? Then it had a drop, started to drop in that month. Then the bulls came in, stepped in and tried to reverse it. Okay, but it ended up dropping and it ended up red. So the same way that I just told you now, there is leftover liquidity here. This is where the magnet is sitting for this to go now. They tried. If this turned green, then I'll be like, they came in hot. They came in strong. It finished red, which means the bears won. Now remember, we want the bears to win on this chart. We want red. We want hard collapse to the downside over here. Plus RSI, fat at the top, right? You guys loved November. I love November, right? What happened in November? We crossed in the RSIs and started making our way down. That's what happened in November. So again, the RSI is there. This is a bearish candle, and I won't be surprised that in this month, we actually fill this red candle and go back to where we were, this low over here, in this month. Okay, so again, altcoins, this is how the monthly chart is looking on the altcoins. I just want to clear up over here. There we go. Okay, again, right now on the monthly, this is alts excluding, and you can see that altcoins are behind Ethereum right now. Okay, so again, Bitcoin is leading the race. It's a no-brainer that Bitcoin is close to all-time high territory, and it's looking stronger than the rest of the market, right? It's a no-brainer right now that over the last couple of days to week or 2, 3, that ETH is stronger than the rest of the alts right now. So your alts are one step behind ETH and Bitcoin right now, because they are fighting this turbulence. Now, why is ETH starting to look strong? Because ETH got through its turbulence last week, right? So ETH has already got through that level. It fought hard, but it got through the turbulence zone. Okay, that's why don't be surprised if it just starts free-flowing now and starts moving back into the 3,000 nice and comfortable. Okay, but you got to start to read what makes a good investor and a good trader is someone that starts to look at what is also going to possibly happen next. Where is the next big opportunity? Because if you're going to keep chasing pumps your whole life, you're going to realize that that's the wrong way to do things, right? Again, I still think ETH is very cheap investment-wise for the long term. Okay, if you want to hold Bitcoin for 10 years, it's probably good to buy it right now. You know, me personally, I want to take a lot of profits in the next year or two. okay? And Bitcoin is a little bit expensive as investments. But you got to look at what's next to move. Once alts get through this turbulence over here, then it's back to the highs. And not only that, then it's alt season, and we exit this zone of what we've seen previously, okay? And we could start looking at altcoins making its way to the $2 to $3 trillion mark. Then that's bear, right? Territory again. Okay, so we have an understanding that the market is starting to get natural again. I don't know if you realize this. I've been waiting so long for this, because I backed ETH from day one, right? And everyone gave me shit, and Ryan gave me shit, and I've shaved my head. I've eaten the world's stinkiest fish. I've lost so many challenges because I chose ETH, right? I said ETH is going to kind of move. But in the natural way of the market, it does move. I think this last 12 months that we saw in this market, even a little bit longer, has been so unnatural. I think the narratives that were running, the things that were happening, it was just where now I look at the charts, and it may be taking a little bit of time, but I see natural. I see that the money is moving to the right places now. The bigger coins want to run. Okay, and if ETH starts to pop, we want to see Solana pop next, and Dogecoin, and we want to see Link, and we want to see AVAX, and we want to see these. They must pop next. Then we go galore into the alt. So my goal with you guys is to work our way down. I want to remind you, I think Bitcoin's a little bit expensive. I do believe ETH is still cheap for the high time frame. And short time, I think it's going to be a very fun coin to trade. I do think Solana and the mid caps are cheap right now. And I think you're going to find a lot of 20x, 50x gems sitting over here. The difference is there on top is 50 or 40% of my money. There is 20, 25% of my money. There's 25% of my money. There's 10% of my money, right? That's the difference between those sections over there. But this is the road that I'm going. And it's so nice because I've brought this thing up how many times in the past? It's so nice that it's actually starting to make sense again, right? Fantastic. It's great that it's starting to make sense again. Let's dive in. Okay, so here's my play on Bitcoin. I think once we are done this dip, okay, and again, the dip, the supports are between 102 and 104. We already hit one yesterday. We should start seeing from later today in market open, okay, we should start seeing a pop to around the 109, 110. Then a little bit of turbulence, and then a pop. Right? But we should be sitting in a good place in the next 10 days. We should be sitting with a new all-time high Bitcoin. Okay? When it looks at, this was the play on ETH. Now, I had this play yesterday that if Bitcoin wanted to sink, okay? But that was also, and I want to show you this now quickly. Let's just move over so I don't lose it, okay? This is the important zone where ETH's about to start a short squeeze. And I just want to show you guys this for a second over here. Let's show you where the big resistance is on ETH. Okay, it's coming into it. Okay, so what that means is this 618 here, this is where the short squeeze happens on ETH. And I don't think ETH's going to stop for nothing at this top over here. So what it means right now is support on ETH is sitting at this areas of the mid 2,550. Right, that's where supports are sitting because we've got a big resistance ahead of us. Once we get through this, we pop, and then we really get moving. So what it looks like is I think we're actually going to, if Bitcoin sits or slowly grinds up, we sit for maybe a few hours, but at any point, we do that, right? We start ripping, right? And we pump hard to the 2.8, shake out, and something like that happens. Very quick. Then the big traps come. This is where the hardness comes. Right now, it's not hard because your risk is kind of low. If you buy here, you put your stop loss here. If you get stopped out and it comes here, you buy here, you put your stop loss here. If you get stopped out, you buy here, you put your stop loss here, right? And then eventually, your pop happens. Now, again, I think the pop's going to happen pretty quick. So that's why, therefore, if I want to enter now, I'll put a stop loss over here, right? But if it does this, and we are sitting at $3,400 in a few days, please tell me if you buy here where you're going to put your stop loss. Here? Are you going to put a 40% stop loss? Right? The best time right now is here, right? Don't be afraid. Before the crack happens, that's how you make money, right? You have the cojones, right? Before the rest over there. The total 3, that's how it looks. Total 3, look at this, guys. So I told you guys the two plays. The bears had an opportunity yesterday to drop Bitcoin. They tried, but they didn't succeed, right? They didn't succeed, and they're going to possibly even try a little bit too today. They don't succeed, and this trend line breaks, your altcoins are going to pop. So right now, you will find altcoins that are near big trend lines. The ones that break the trend lines are going to pop first. The ones that are still far from the trend line are going to pop in the next batch, which means that the ones that are going to break trends are the most important ones to pay attention, that if you want to buy this token or not. right, are the ones that are going to pop the trend first. Some other tokens are sitting over here and still have a bit of time to go until that happens. When this trend line pops, that's when you're going to see a squeeze. That's when you're going to see things start to pop. So this is not far. This is telling us, hey, Bitcoin dominance wants to come down, right? It wants to start to move to the downside and start pushing down. Now, again, over here, USDT dominance, and I like this over here as well. It shows us that the shorter time frame, we've lost that now. Okay, and one more move. This is why it's telling me that this is where the real short squeeze happens. There we go. When we lose that today, boom, we're going, we're rocketing, we're moving very quickly. So I want to remind you again, tokens that are looking hot. I gave you guys NAKA yesterday. Who got it? Right? Who got NAKA yesterday? A little bit expensive today, right? But I'll give you some more over here. But who got NAKA yesterday? Great. It should be a nice 10% up there, ready, and it ain't even started. Right? Because I'm starting to dip my toes and I'm starting to look at the blue chips. You know what I'm doing? I'm looking at every narrative right now. Oh, that's my uncle. What's up, Warren? Is that my uncle? That must be him, right? That's him. Oh, amazing. Lots of love. Lots of love. Over there. What was I saying now? You just distracted me. Where's my 𝗬𝗿𝗆𝗍𝗶𝗄𝗏? I'm looking at the blue chips of each narrative right now. I'm looking at the blue chips of gaming, blue chips of AI, blue chips of those, because I know they're going to pop first, right? They are going to fall part of the more larger cap kind of pop, right? The smaller ones, I know have a little bit of time to get those, okay? So there is NAKA. Again, render. Render's there. That's my play on render. You guys know, this is one that I'm saying that I think is going to rip hard in a spot buy, great buy. If you want to leverage trade it, you trade on the trend break, tight stops, great. Okay, this is render. I think render's still going to pop. I think ton is still going to pop. Cardano, guys. I'm not even going to say anything. All right, I'm going to get my water and just let you stare at this chart breaker trend. Okay, so if ETH is going to pop, what's going to pop with it, right? What does that guy do? Okay, that, right? That over there, Cardano, starting to pop trend. Cardano is showing as one of the leaders, right? Another one that is showing one of the leaders is Algorand. Right, Algorand is starting to pop some trends. Now, what I like about this is you got this trend and you got this trend later. So it gives me an idea of how big the pop will be. It gives me an idea that once we get through this turbulence, we're going here. That then gives you room to update stops. And if we break here, you can add some more to that bad boy. Right, we know high time frame. Again, I don't have to talk too much around the targets. The targets are big, right? The main thing is the entries. Once we through here an alt pump here, the targets are huge. Your gains are huge, right? All that I'm looking at now is, are these alts in good place where the risk is low? Lower than usual, a good risk to reward. If I enter this now and I want to protect myself over here, right? Over here, right? And I look at the reward just to there, you can see how much bigger the green is. If I start looking over there and I start looking bigger, you'll see the risk is at that lower point. Algorand's the next one. Then we have Injective. It's already getting ready to pop here, right? I think this is a really good spot entry on Injective. Okay, Injective, I think, is going to rip. And I want to show you guys over here why. Show you high time frames here. Here's Injective. Okay, I actually see a nice inverse head and shoulders in play here. Once Injective gets to the top here, we're looking back into the $30. I see this being up to 100% trade. The risk is here right now to protect yourself. This is the areas to be buying on some spots. Okay, and these are my target areas over here to these zones over here, 100%. And if I look at my risk, 12%. Okay, amazing. Injective is looking strong. Couple of other tokens just to keep eyes out on. You know, we have these, you got to look at ETH-based tokens as well, right? Link is part of the ecosystem, right? Keep an eye out on Link to accumulate, because when ETH wants to go, Link's going to want to go. If you want to look at a couple of memes, keep an eye on Shibu, keep an eye on 𝗏𝗏. Now, I'm not personally in these, but these will very much be memes that will move with. You've seen how the Solana tokens move when Sol starts moving, right? Okay, so keep out. If you like this to trade it, I ain't invested in it. I am nothing here. But for me, if you want to make some money off of it, keep eyes on them over here as well. Another one is Ondo. Okay, now Ondo is something that is a higher time frame buy zone right now. And when it really gets fun to trade is when it breaks that trend. Keep that in mind. Things like Lido, right? These are all ETH-based tokens. Now, another thing that you also want to see, guys, because the question here is, Sheldon, should I have 50 tokens right now? Should I have this? You can kind of make the decision. If you want to make that decision, go look at your tokens to the ETH pairing, right? It's very important to do so. So let me show you this over here. So if you go here, Doge, and you say to ETH, what it's going to do is it's basically going to take Dogecoin and ETH and chart them together. Okay, so you can kind of get a look here. Look how Doge is dropping hard to ETH right now. Look at this, right? If I look at this now, it lost support heavy. So if you're telling me that ETH ain't getting strong, I don't know what anyone's saying right now, right? Look at that. It lost support last week. And if I look at where the next support is, it's all the way down here. Okay, so it's very likely that, again, if I want to trade and make money today, it's very likely I'll choose ETH over trading Doge, right? Let's go look at ETH to SOL. Now, again, at some point, this will come down and it will be the other way around. Doge will be better to buy than over ETH. Okay, but it gives you a good understanding of where the strength is right now. Okay, let's look at Solana and ETH. Remember, this is removing the stable coin dollar. It's looking at two coins against each other. I don't know if you see what I see, right? I don't know. But I see a big-ass trend getting broke from SOL to ETH. Yeah, nice. Nice for ETH, right? Nice. It's nice to... I'm smiling because I've been loving ETH for so long. And I started to look like a... yeah. Look at that. Strong, right? Again, let's actually just look at another example over here. I actually want to see what something like Sui and ETH is doing. I want to see if they actually have. Some of them will have the pairs, some will not. Okay, I don't see a Sui and ETH. But guys, again, you can take your alts. You can go have a look at them. Let's actually go through a couple of these alts as well. I didn't go through them today. Oh, there's SOL. This is my plan on SOL. Okay, this is my plan on Doge. Doge, do you see the token that is Doge near the trend line yet to break it right? No, not yet. Is Cardano? Yes. Is Algo? Yes. Okay, so what's better right now to build a bit of a position right now? It doesn't mean I don't want Doge. It just means I want to be a part of the first pop, right? And then I can kind of make the decisions. So you can get an idea here is, say, near a trend right now, right? Is it near the major trend? No, it's not. They're still far there, right? If you look at near protocol, is near, doesn't mean it's not in a good accumulating, but is it going to pop right now? No, it's still far, right? Are these tokens far? Even Chainlink's still a bit far to trade right now, right? But if you look at these right now and you start to see, oh, there's a bit of a difference. Okay, and that's the important difference to make sure that you are aware of. Okay, guys, I want to give a big shout out to a couple of my exchanges, to Bluechip. Okay, we have a great deal here where if you deposit up to $200, you get $30 in rewards. You go to rewards section. Okay, you deposit and you'll see you can claim this capital. You get $50 for your first future trading of is it less than $5,000? I see it over there. Less or more? One of them, right? Less. Okay, and if you want to copy trade over there as well. So here you can see there's 14 days left of this promotion. If you want, Bluechip is going to be incredible. And I'm also going to be running some big private events there in the future. If you want a 𝗬𝗏𝗡 account, 𝗬𝗏𝗡 is incredible. Lots of incredible deals. If you want an exchange, get it and go sign up for Sniper School. Guys, have an absolute fantastic day. For now, we got to keep sitting in anticipation. But when the pop happens, we can start trading again. I love you all. See you tomorrow.